Hello Internet, I'm back with another installment of I talk about my dolls way too much. I apologize because I had never intended on making my YouTube account into like a doll video blog account, but it's kind of happened anyways. I'm sorry. I'll post more interesting things later, I promise. Maybe. But today I came across the BJD Addicts, my BJD Journey TAG, and again it looked really fun and really interesting. It's all about we as collectors, our journey into the hobby and what we do and so on. And yeah, I really like talking about myself, so I thought I would do this one. And I'm also really tired right now, so it sounded like a good idea. I have the tags over here, and I will just read them off and give my answer. So, starting with number 1, it's, how did you first find out about BJDs? For me, I had an acquaintance on LiveJournal a long time ago, like back in 2004 or 2003. And this acquaintance just suddenly started posting pictures of these big, beautiful dolls, and she would talk about the creativity aspects and how customizable they were, and she would write great stories about them, and I thought it looked really cool and really fun and interesting, so I kind of started watching the hobby from afar, and like years later I finally got my first doll. So it was through a friend online. Number 2 is, what was your first BJD? And for me, my first was my Dream of Doll wee, Gunther, who is currently sitting on the shelf back there watching from afar. I got him, when I got him I had no intention of ever owning a BJD, but then I saw his adorable little face and I kind of had to get him, so he's what got me collecting, like, actively. Number 3 is, what is your favorite BJD brand or company? I wouldn't say I have one favorite company, but of course my first doll was from Dream of Doll, and Dream of Doll was the first company I owned more than one doll from, so they're in the top of my favorites, and I have more than one Zoom doll and a couple Lutz dolls, so they're up there as well. And yeah, I like a lot of the big companies. I'm sorry, I don't know many of the smaller companies. Maybe you've heard of them, but I don't like watch them or look at them ever. Sorry. But I do like the big ones. I must know. Number 4. In what way do you explore your creativity in this hobby? For me, of course, there's a lot of photography. I know a lot of people have said that one too. And it makes sense. I mean, these dolls are really beautiful and really gorgeous, so it's, you want to look at them and you want to share them with everyone, so I've taken a lot of photos of my dolls, all of them, not just one, and yeah, I kind of dabbled in photography before I started collecting dolls, but it really took off when I started getting them, but it's kind of like as an amateurish, not for serious thing. I mean, I still only use a point and shoot camera. I'm not quite ready to buy a big, expensive camera that I don't know how to use yet or anything like that. So I do like taking pictures. And then also, right now, my big creative thing is writing stories. I've been writing since I was a small child. I used to read a lot, so of course, eventually I started writing a lot as well. And then a few years ago I got really, really, really serious about writing stories, and lately I've been like incorporating my doll characters into my original stories, and it's kind of combined 2 hobbies, and it's made it really fun for me, so I write about them a lot these days. It's really fun. I enjoy it. And number 5 is, how did you get started doing this? And yeah, as I said, for writing, I've been doing it forever, for as long as I can remember. So it just kind of kind of naturally evolved into two of my hobbies coming together. So yeah. Let's see, number 6. Where do you buy your BJD items from? Such as clothes, wigs, shoes, and accessories. Most of the stuff I buy, I get directly from the company websites. Like probably 97% of what I buy is just directly from the company. I very, very, very rarely buy anything secondhand, just because it's extremely tedious and sometimes really frustrating for me to try to buy stuff on the marketplace on various forums and, clicking link after link after link only to find stuff for SD girls and I only have MSD boys or something. It's just very frustrating and time consuming trying to find stuff on the secondhand market. So it's really just easier just to go to a page where everything has pictures and buy from the websites. But at the same time, I'm rather lucky. Living in Japan, I have many opportunities to go to doll events. There are several events a year, so there's chances then to buy stuff. And also, there are doll stores. I live like down the street from a Volks store, for example. So there's that for me as well, and it's really great. I really like that. I like walking into a store and buying doll stuff. It's very cool. Let's see, number 7. Do you have a certain style you like for your BJDs? Most of my guys are just very plain. Like you can see on Goo, they usually just wear slacks, a shirt, cardigan. It does make it very difficult for me to find clothes for them because everyone wants to sell and make like Visual K, J-Rocker punk clothes or fantasy fluffy frilly stuff, and I'm like, I just want some sweater vests and a turtleneck, So my guys are sometimes a little bit nerdy, but they're all just very plain. Some of the fantasy characters I have can sometimes wear fantasy clothes, but even for them it's not very often. Let's see. Number 8, what size BJD do you prefer or have the most of? I do mostly have minis, partially because my first doll was a mini and I decided to stay with that scale. I have gotten a few SDs in that time that I couldn't resist, but out of my 10 dolls, 7 of them are MSD size. It fits for me really well because I'm a really short person, and so we kind of match. Let's see, number 9? Do you have more male than female dolls, or vice versa, and why? Yes, for sure. I only have boy dolls, mostly just because, like, there are some girl dolls that I've liked, but there haven't been any that have, like, grabbed me and where I've said, oh my god, I have to have that doll. It just hasn't happened with any girls. If it does, I would be happy to buy one. It would be nice to actually be able to buy some of those pretty dresses I see, but for the most part, it's always been guys who have really grabbed my attention, so I have a house full of boys. It's not bad, though. I like it. Number 10, tell us a little about one of your dolls. I wanted to talk about my number 10. I haven't talked about him in any videos yet, so this is kind of like his first unveiling or his introduction. He's my 10th doll. His name is Deca, meaning 10. He's Assume Tough. I had a lot of problems getting my hands on Assume Tough. I wanted one the moment they came out, but stuff happened and I couldn't get one, and I was really heartbroken, and then for 3 years I've been trying to get this doll, and finally I was able to get him due to some coincidentally lucky circumstances happening at the same time. So I'm really lucky to have him, but let's see, I've had him about 4 months and I still haven't come up with a personality for him. I didn't even know what I wanted him to look like until I started buying the wig and eyes and stuff, but so far he has no character. He has a name, no character. But he's really cute, and he's He's an angel. He's really sweet. Let's see. Number 11. Have you ever sold a doll? Oh, why or why not? I've sold a few heads or traded heads that I've gotten from events that I had, no intention of ever using. But that's it. I've never sold a full doll. And for me, I don't really see the reason why I would. When I get my dolls, I get them because I love them and I want to look at their faces forever. I get very attached. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, I see a new doll that I want and I have to sell the old doll to get the new doll. And for me, it's kind of like, why? If I see a new doll I want, then I start saving up for the new doll. I don't really see the point in getting rid of a doll to get a new doll when I can just save up my money. I'm a very tenacious saver. But that's probably why I've accumulated so many over the years. I have no desire to sell them. And I do go through periods where I will get bored of a doll and not play with them for a while, but I always end up coming back to them eventually and being like, I love you again. So, yeah, I fall in love with them over and over and over, so it's really not a problem for me to not sell them. I like having them around. We're together forever. Let's see. Number 12. Where do you go to connect to other BJD collectors? I will say, my favorite way of connecting with other owners is face-to-face, in person, at meetups or events or anything. I've tried to, get to know people online, but emailing and commenting on forums and all that is really tedious for me, and I really don't like it. It's really hard to have a flowing conversation when it's a message, and so on. So I really prefer in-person, face-to-face talking. I have tried getting into the community on Tumblr or posting pictures on some of the big forums, but unfortunately most of my stuff has gone largely ignored. And I'm not oh, I need attention. It's not that so much as, if you're standing there talking to somebody and they have their back turned to you and they're ignoring you, eventually you stop trying to talk to that person. So I'm kind of in that situation when it comes to interacting with people online. It's not that I crave attention, it's just if I'm being ignored, I stop bothering to try. So that's another advantage, I guess, of just talking with people face to face. They don't tend to turn their shoulders to you when you're standing right there. Let's see. Number 13. Do you tell everyone about your BJDs, or is it more private? I've seen a lot of people say, for me it depends on who I'm talking to. The people who know me personally know I collect dolls. I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm not shy about telling people. But I see no reason to bring it up in conversation with people who don't know. I'm not just going to walk up to someone and be like, hey, I collect giant, expensive dolls. How about you? I don't do that. But if somebody asks, what are your hobbies? I'll say, reading, writing, collecting giant-ass dolls. So, yeah, I'm not ashamed or shy, but it doesn't come up that often, so people who don't know me personally don't tend to know. Number 14, my favorite. How old are you? I am 33 years old. I just had a birthday a few weeks ago. Thank you. And, yeah, and I'm not ashamed of that. I don't feel old. I feel pretty young, so it's not bad. And last one. What is your grail doll? Because of the complications in getting him, my Soon Tough is my grail doll. I wanted him for so long, years and years of pining for him, and it was so much trouble putting him together, but I got really lucky, and I finally have him together here. So he's my grail, and apparently he's a holy grail, and we really love him. We're happy to have him here. So that's it. I hope this video isn't too long or boring. I know I ramble a lot, and I know a lot of people say that. But, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you at the next one. Bye!